So a decision is made and you weren't the final call, but you are now expected to explain it, stand behind it, and lead it forward, right? So this video is about how to do that well, even when you didn't agree. So internally, you're thinking, this is not what I would have chosen. But the real test isn't whether you agree or not. It's what you do after the decision is final. And I deal with this in almost every coaching engagement, and I have lived it myself. So I want to walk you through how to carry a decision forward without losing trust, credibility, momentum, even when the alignment isn't perfect right out the gate. So first, check the foundation. This is mission, vision, values, purpose. Before you do anything else, ask yourself, does this decision violate our mission, our values, or ethics? Or is this simply not my preference? These are two very different situations. When I was part of a decision to launch a new business line, I had to ask myself these exact questions. It wasn't my ideal path, but it didn't violate what we were building or why we existed. In fact, it was quite the opposite. Once I answered that honestly, I could lead it cleanly. So if you skip this step, everything that follows is forced. Belief doesn't come from agreement. It comes from understanding why and how a decision fits into the larger strategy. So if you can't explain the why with conviction, you can't expect any commitment later. Second, alignment is internal before it's external. This is where leaders get into trouble, okay? The decision is made and you don't control the decision anymore. Take that. You control what you say, what you think, and how you process your feelings on it. That's it. When leaders say things like, I don't agree with this, but, or when frustration leaks through tone or sarcasm or side conversations, you know what I'm talking about. The team doesn't hear nuance, they hear hesitation. And when I was doing my new business line launch, I made a very conscious choice. I didn't narrate my internal debate to the team. My job wasn't to be honest about my feelings. My job was to be clear about reality. So get aligned internally. Third is translating the decision into clarity. So once that decision is final, leadership shifts. It's no longer about why this happened. It's about what happens next. So in my case, I told people early. I was like, look, this is coming. Then I told them when it was real. And then I translated that into exactly how each function would need to contribute. No drama, no commentary, just clarity. People don't need certainty about outcomes. They need certainty about the direction. Fourth is involve people without undermining the decision. Here's a subtle but critical distinction. You don't need agreement to get commitment. You need involvement. Even when I didn't own the original call, I involved the team deeply in how we executed it. Their concerns were heard. Their ideas mattered. Their expertise shaped the plan. That's how you protect engagement without reopening the decision. Alignment is not consensus. Alignment is commitment to executing. Fifth is treat the discomfort as data. I'm a scientist, I love data. I don't see these moments as failures. I see them as information. Where's the friction? What assumptions are being tested? What's being surfaced earlier what's being surfaced earlier instead of later? I treated that launch like an experiment, not a personal referendum on my leadership. That mind shift matters because when leaders personalize conflict, teams will feel it immediately. Okay, finally, close the loop. The debate is over. Now let's let this close. That means gratitude for the discussion, clear next steps, a unified message, and visible commitment. It's not pretending that you were always thrilled, so you don't have to do that. It's deciding how to move forward now. This is where credibility is either reinforced or completely eroded. So you won't agree with every decision you're asked to lead, and I think you know that. But how you carry it forward is what people remember, not the strategy, not the debate, your presence. And that choice is always yours. if this kind of leadership conversation is useful for you, subscribe here. This is the work we do.